welcome back to the Teeniest Pinecone. It's Jess with another plan with me for the month of June. If the title hadn't already given it away, you could probably infer that this month's theme is the 70s. Or the 60s, but those two eras kind of blend into one another. To jump right in, I'm using my usual Sakura Pigma Micron fineliner to outline this little astrological sun with a face. I saw a picture close to this on Pinterest and thought it was really adorable, and I'm not a fan of astrology myself, but I love the aesthetic, so I decided to incorporate that here. And the quote that I'm using this month is "You're So Golden," which is a song by Harry Styles. And I chose this because the first time I heard it, it reminded me of Fleetwood Mac, and Fleetwood Mac is my favorite band of absolutely all time. No other compares. I debated using an actual Fleetwood Mac lyric as my quote this month, but I may have plans to do a Fleetwood Mac bullet journal theme at some point, so I thought I'd save that for whenever that happens. So now I am just using a combination of my Tombow dual brush pens, my Crayola Super Tips, and my new Faber-Castells to outline and draw out this vintage retro stripe design. Also, this is where my traitorous head decides to make an appearance for a lot of the video. I'm sorry. Here I'm just using my Faber-Castell brush pen in Cadmium Yellow to outline and color in the sun. And then I'm using the Beige Red to color in her features, and that same Beige Red to color in the font. And now I'm just going back in with the striped color theme, sans the dark purple, to draw in this retro rainbow that is going to end up wrapping around the mini calendar for this month. And then I'm taking one of my black Tombow brush pens to outline the title of June, as well as the quote on the left-hand side. And now all that's left is to fill in the mini calendar and then use my Uniball white gel pen to fill in the days of the week, and spread is done. So I'm sad about this because I lost the footage to the very beginning of this spread, but you can kind of get the gist of what I did. I took the same color scheme and made a gradient for the calendar. I ended up making a mistake and adding one too many dot grid spaces to the penultimate week of this month, but hopefully that's not too noticeable. And now I'm just writing in all the numbers with my black fineliner again, and writing in the title of June in the sun at the top. And this next page is just a continuation of the monthly spread where I'll be adding my notes, my to-do, and my important dates. In this year's bullet journal, I have really tried to be intentional about avoiding the color black. In last year's bullet journal, I had the same kind of formula of outlining everything with a fineliner in black and then coloring things in where it called for it, but this year I really want to be purposeful about challenging myself and including more color in general, but especially when it comes to outlining things, so that's why I chose this bright orange Tombow to outline these boxes. And now we arrive at the habit and mood trackers. I took the same basic design of the sun from the title setup and used it for the header on this page. So for these specific habits, in lieu of mini calendars, I decided to draw a little rainbow for each one and then section off the days and number them. And I think this is going to be a really cute idea, especially at the end of the month when all of the colors are going to come together. I know I'm not going to fill out every single day because I'm really bad at habit trackers, but I think it's still going to look pretty cool. And for the mood tracker, I took the same retro striped color scheme and used that for my moods. I always feel like habit and mood tracker spreads leave something to be desired because when you're making them, they're a little bit naked and bare bones, and they look kind of sad until the end of the month when you can flip back and really see how it blooms on the page. But I think this is going to look especially awesome at the end. And now I'm just coloring in the sun header with these 2 shades of yellow and moving on to the next spread. And actually these next 2 spreads ended up being my favorite of the whole setup, the playlist and the brain dump spreads. I've mentioned previously that I don't always include these spreads, but I really wanted to do a playlist for this month because I have a soft spot in my heart for music from the 60s and 70s. I could speak ad nauseum of my unfailing love for Fleetwood Mac, but I also really love like Cat Stevens, the Beatles, Kansas. So I'm really excited to fill this out. And I'm just using my orange Tombow once again to outline the boxes for the songs. And then went in with my white gel pen to cover up that mistake there. And then started on my little groovy VW van on the next page. I really want to own one of these one day. When I was in high school, we had a teacher who drove one of these to school, and we always saw it parked in the parking lot. We thought it was the coolest thing. But I want to own one and turn it into like a livable tiny house. And I know you can just buy a camper, but what's the fun in that? And now I am just again taking my fine liner and drawing in some flowers and leaves to fill in the empty space on the bottom of this spread, and then writing in the brain dump header, as well as filling in the Volkswagen logo with my white gel pen, and then adding drop shadows to the playlist boxes and calling that a done spread. Next is the first weekly, and it's the same concept as my monthly calendar spread, using the markers to outline the daily boxes with the same gradient color scheme as the retro stripes. And here in the center of the 2 pages where the crease is, I'm just adding another retro stripe pattern with the addition of my ivory color Faber-Castell to match the number of boxes that I have. I think the original only had 5 colors, this will have 6, and I think it came out looking pretty good. And again, using my white gel pen to cover up another mistake. I've made a lot of those in this video, it seems. But this is why I like watching the process anyway, because you get to see all those mistakes and the fixes that come along with them. And after writing in the days and dates of the week and filling in the mini calendar, I've used another funky 70s font to write in the number of the week on top, and used a warm gray Tombow color to fill in my notes and to-do sections, which means that we have arrived at the final flip through. I hope you enjoyed it. All of my supply links will be down in the description, including my Instagram, and I will see you next month. Stay groovy, guys.